Hi, this is Ellie with Full Moonlight Tarot 20, and this is a twin flame check-in reading. And I find that now with the new moon energies in Libra, dreams, oh my gosh, dreams are very vivid right now. And we're in a 9-year, things are ending. A lot of karmic connections are ending. Twin flame separation phases are ending. There's a lot of unions happening or they're about to happen. So, and that's come up in quite a few of the tarot reading as well. It's been quite a lot. Now, I have here 2 cards at the top for the Divine Masculine and what they're going through at this time, 2 cards at the bottom for the Divine Feminine, and I have 2 cards for Union on the side. And I will also draw from the Love Oracle cards just to get some additional information. So, the Divine Masculine at this time is in deep introspection regarding the relationships around him. Now, when it says here, respect your relationships, what he's looking at this time, especially the ones that are still in karmic connections. I see a lot where they leave a marriage and immediately they're in another connection with another karmic because they still have not healed. They still have not healed that codependency, toxic energy. They still have not resolved. They have not healed that core wound from childhood, that abandonment wound. And now, yes, they might have been fed up with their karmic marriage and Divine Feminine coming into her center has pushed him to exit that relationship, but he's still clinging to his codependency. He's clinging. And now as he's leaving this relationship that he's grieving, he's afraid to face that grief. He's afraid to completely lose himself in the grief of letting this go, that now he's trying to get comfort with another karmic who, might be temporarily might be soothing him, might be pepping up his ego a little bit. But this is not going to last. And I think he's realizing, he's looking at all the people around him, is realizing all the people that he's been listening to all this time who really did not have his best interest at heart. People he didn't want to disappoint, people that he kept listening to instead of listening to his inner voice. So he's kind of facing all that at this time. And it's funny because I just did a tarot reading that kind of said the same thing. And with dreams, first of all, with these new moon energies, the dreams we're having right now are very, very vivid. Keep a dream journal beside your bed because you're probably going to dream of your twin. You're going to dream about very significant things that might be happening in the future. So keep a dream journal beside your bed because pretty much a minute after you wake up, you might already be forgetting the details. Write them down as soon as you wake up. He is probably having dreams about his Divine Feminine. That's what I take out of this card. He wants to share his dreams, and his higher self is always with the Divine Feminine. His higher self is always there. They're always encouraging one another. They're together in the 5D. They've always forever been together in the 5D. And any other relationship in this life is only an illusion. So, because your souls are always together, right? And your souls are eternal. So he's dreaming about his Divine Feminine, and maybe he's even dreaming of a life together, and yet he's seeking solace with another karmic. So at least that's what I'm feeling in this collective here. Now the Divine Feminine has clarity and boundaries, and I'm certain you had the boundaries card last time I did this reading too. So what's happening is when your Divine Masculine is in a karmic connection, especially when there's a breakup and he's in a lot of turmoil, Spirit will temporarily cut the connection between, not cut, they will dim the intensity of the connection that you have. So you know how your chakra systems are connected by energetic cords. So you can always feel one another, you have a telepathic connection, all that jazz. Well, when one of the parties is going through a really, really, really rough time, spirit will mute that energy so you are not affected by it, because spirit does not want your vibration to drop, because masculine is being forced to face this by himself. Masculine has been sitting there this whole time in their toxin and has let divine feminine do all the work on her side. And it would be instinct for us, for divine feminine, to jump in and want to try to save them, even if it is energetic, by giving them a lot of energy. Well, spirit is not allowing that anymore, because the divine masculine is now being forced to rise. He's being forced to fight the forces that have kept him stuck and stagnant, that have kept him in karmic connections, that have kept him in negativity and trauma and toxin. He now has to rise above that. He has to fight himself out of that, and you, divine feminine, cannot help him with that. He has to do that himself. That is how he rises to be the actual divine masculine. That is how he rises into his divine masculinity, into his sovereign power. That is how he does it. He has to fight this by himself. So I think you're getting clarity about the situation. You must have heard about what's going on in their life. You must have heard, you are clear that you need to stay away from the situation for your own well-being. You need to protect your energy. You need to stay strong. You need to stay centered. Always stay centered. Don't think about what he's doing. Focus on you. And have the boundaries, have the energetic boundaries. Make sure you clear your energy every day, especially when you think about him a lot, because he's probably desperately trying to telepathically reach out to you and trying to attach to your energy and to pull some of your energy. And so you need to make sure you have energy clearing practices each day, such as saging, such as energetic cord cutting, which of course you can't cut the cords, but you can envision cutting cords that are stuck to your body, and then imagine that the loose ends that are coming out of your body are getting sucked in so nothing else can attach to it. Then you can also use bells or anything that's going to clear the energy in the room you're in and clear your energy. There's so many things you can do. You can even look it up online. Make sure you do these things. It's very, very important at this time as the masculine is going through this. Now, for the union energies, I pulled Labyrinth and Learn. And of course, we might be feeling lost, but I think the masculine are feeling very lost at this time. And they are asked to reach out to support around them, but also support from spirit, and reach into themselves to find their inner strength to get through this time. And of course, you're both learning, right? You're learning from the situation. You're learning to stay on your side. You fought your battles. And now it's time for divine masculine to fight his, and you need to stay out of it. So that's what you're learning at this time. Now I'm curious, and I want to pull a couple of cards from the Love Oracle deck that I just recently bought. And I just want to see if we can get some additional information about this. Yeah. Wow, exactly what I was talking about. Maybe one more. All right. Only you. Devoted, attached, crave. So I feel like this is both of you. This energy is both of you. Finality. Farewells, leave behind, closure. I think that's what the divine masculine is doing at this time. He's leaving behind the karmic connections and the people in his life that are no longer serving him. I think he's realizing that I think he's come to terms with the fact that you're his divine feminine. And maybe he's just not at that point where he's ready to come forward with that truth. I have here clinging, holding on, obsessing, spying. Yeah, of course. I think that he must be spying on what you're doing, especially as he's going through this tough time, because he knows how loving and nurturing you are, so of course he would be. Let me just see if there's a couple of more. Commitment, marriage promises, fidelity. I feel like that is what's coming. Yeah, obsession, infatuation, adoration, addiction. Now, that is what he's overcoming, I feel. The obsession. Like, even if he's run to another karmic, there might be infatuation there, but it's in the sense that right now they need a distraction from the crap and chaos that's going on in their life. So they're going to find that no matter whether this is another person, whether this is another addiction, they're learning to overcome this. They're trying to overcome this. But let me tell you, you're still very much on their mind. They must be fantasizing about commitment with you. And yet here they might be with somebody else. So this might not resonate for everyone in this collective, but I'm sure this is for a lot of us. So, well, keep your chin up, divine feminines. I'm sure there's a few enlightened masculines watching, but most of my collective is the divine feminines. And this is all coming to a head now. Divine masculine, as I said, is being forced to face the toxin in his life. And even if he's trying to run from it, there is no escaping the truths that are about to hit him. In the last reading I did, we had a third party situation where he's getting hit with the sword of truth, that he's really made a mess of his life and that he is completely overwhelmed and things need to change. And I feel like this applies for a lot of the twin flame collective as well. This is what's happening. This is a 9-year. There's so many things ending. There's new phases going to be starting, like by Christmas this year. There's so many unions going to be happening. There's so many karmic endings that are now happening between now and Christmas. So many karmic endings. And a lot of the masculines are waking up and they're finally starting to work on the toxicity within themselves and letting go of the toxic connections around them. I think this is beautiful and it's about high time. And that's what I have for you today. Love and light. We will talk again next time.